Okay, so hello and welcome back to some coins of Turkey. So these videos are designed to help you identify your coins and also see if there's any potential value in them. So not financial advice. Anyway, so these are the coins that we issued between 1958 and 1980 when inflation took their toll on the actual currency. So the currency is a lira of 100 kudos. So lira is an old term and it was a unit of measurement, and it comes from Latin, and it weighs probably about 325 grams. That's just rough. There's no real estimate, or it probably would have varied over time periods. So that's probably just a mid-range. But the Romans never used lira as a coin. They decided to they use as a coin, which is actually, you got as, tertius, quadrans, which are various base metal coinage, and then you got the denarius, which was the silver coins. That did have subdivisions, and then Antonianus, which we don't even notice the name, which is double denarius. But anyway, so Turkish coins at this period are all pretty much they're all base metal. Turkey last issued the silver coins in 1948. So here's a 1 lira from 1947, and there you go. It has the crescent and the stars, which represent Islam, on the flag. And in 1982, they actually changed the way it was rotated. So this is facing towards the left, which would be normal if they were writing in an Arabic script, but obviously this is in Latin script. So in 1980, it actually changed the rotation of the actual crescent and the star. Although that's just a guess on why they actually changed it. And this is a 1 lira. So that has value in silver. All these coins have no value in silver. Like the silver coins you see here are stainless steel, and the coins you see up the top, initially the 1, 2 and 5 kudos were bronze or brass, and then they changed them to aluminium. So the 1 kudos, which is 1 gram and 14 millimeters from 1961 to 63, made out of brass, it's the smallest coin they issued. And as we compare it with demographics, so 1960, the population of Turkey was 27,754,000, and the highest mintage they issued for the on kudos between 61 and 63 was 1962, 3,520,000. So obviously there wasn't enough coins. Obviously population increased from there, and currently the population of Turkey is, let me have a look, is 85 million. So probably 86 million these days. And the highest mint for coins issued in bronze, which is these two coins, between 1963 and 74 was 2,940,1971. So the 1966 coin has 1,820,000. So these are all pretty scarce. 1974, you see there, the last year of the bronze issue, 510,000. Then they issued 1975, 77 aluminium coins, which I don't have. The highest mint is 75 with 690,000. So basically these coins are not used. They were just too small a value. And what we have on here, we have olive branch, and on the other side we just have the star and the crescent moon. Okay, so here's a close-up of the actual design. It's actually quite nice, and if we turn it over, we have the star, crescent moon. So this is uncirculated, but still a low mint, and if I was going to keep any of these two coins, this one would be it. And the 5 kuros, they didn't change it from brass to bronze. From 1958 to 74, it's just 2.5 grams of bronze and 17 millimeters, so it's quite a small coin. And on this one we have oak branches. So this is the reverse, has a denomination and the design, and we have dates 1965 at a mintage of 90,017,000. That's still lower than the population, which 1965 the population of Turkey was 31,310,000. So obviously these didn't see widespread circulation because the V is a bit small, but then you have to take into account what they could buy, which I don't know. Okay, 1974, 13,504,000. The lowest mint is pretty much going to be 1961 with 11,110,000. So really not a scarce coin. Then we have the aluminium ones, you can see there. So this one is, okay, 1975. It either has 1,019,000 with the Anatolic Bride. There was another one issued with the standard obverse in 1975, 1.5 million. And basically the last coin was 1977, and that was an aluminium coin. So this is the standard design with the crescent moon, and this is the Anatolic woman. So this is the commemorative, only issued for 1 year in 1975. So these standard coins, even in uncirculated, should cost you less than $5. This one was roughly about $10 if you want to buy one. Okay, the 10 kurus was 4 grams, 21.3 millimeters. That's for the bronze coin. And then 1971 they changed it to different. Actually no, they changed the weight of the standard coin in 1969 from 4 grams to 3.5 grams. And then 1974, 2.5 grams. Then they issued a different design in 1971 of 3.5 grams. That is an FAO issue. They also issued that in 1975 in aluminium. And then from 1975 they issued the standard design in aluminium to 1977. So basically here we have the standard design 1971 reverse, and if we flip it over, so this is the standard design they issue for most coins. That's also the standard design. And then 1971 they issued the FAO issue. Has Ataturk, has him in a tractor, has Turkish Republic, and down below we have, I don't read Turkish so I need a translator. Okay, no one has actually translated it, so I need to find out. Probably Agricultural Progress series. Agricultural Progress. Anyway, if anyone reads Turkish, please let me know what that says. So the first coin, so this is 1962, weighs 4 grams. This one is 1971, weighs 3.5 grams. So a slight difference in the thickness. And then the last one we have is 1970, is that 1971? No, 1974. That weighs 3.5 grams. You can see there is a massive reduction in the size. It's probably because they changed the metal composition of the actual coin. Okay, so this one has wheat on it. You can tell. Wheat does come from Egypt and not Anatolia. Yeah, it probably does come from Anatolia, but the Sumerians popularized it with their emmer wheat. So 1962 had a mintage of 9,250,000, and 1960 the population was 27,754,000. And initially in 1958, 14 million. There really wasn't enough coins for the population. So really all these mintages of these coins are actually quite low. 1971 had a mintage of 14,120,000. So I don't see any years in which they satisfy market demand. Okay, so this one, 1974, had a mintage of 605,000. So pretty much by this time period the coin had fallen out of use. And then we have the aluminium ones, which were minted starting from 1975. So in 1975 they issued the standard coin as well as this commemorative in aluminium. As you can see, they kept the design the same. And this coin, 1.35 grams aluminium, had a mintage of 517,000. So I'd say these are probably issued in sets, probably in limited series to certain places. And in 1975 they did issue a standard design, so that's this one, in aluminium with 2,165,000. And basically in 1977, 305,000, the lowest minted coin, and this denomination pretty much fell out of circulation. So pretty much since its inception, the coin was not really used. The only coin that had really sufficient mintage was the previous series, which we will cover in another video. So basically, you should be able to pick these coins for less than $10 for the lower mint coins. For the common ones, so these ones here, you'll probably be paying less than $5. I'll pick it up for $2 or $3. If you can get a whole bulk lot of Turkish coins, you'll probably get a few of these in there for probably at least $1 each. Okay, so then we've got the 25 kuruş and the 50 kuruş. 25 is issued from 1959 to 78. It is acrymonal, so it's probably magnesium steel. 5 grams, 22.6 millimeters. The 50 kuruş, which we see is a bit larger, 6 grams, 25.4 millimeters, also made of the same metal. So it's supposed to be corrosion resistant. So in 1,000 years, they should be able to find these. Probably gone a bit black because the corrosion won't last forever, but they would last longer than just a steel coin. And the designer is, or the engraver is Pietro Giampaoli. Sounds like he is probably Italian or Spanish. I can't find information on the actual guy. And it has, so we have on the 25 kuruş just the design of wheat and olives on both sides. The crescent and the star, the denomination and the date, and on the other side we have a woman just walking, holding a sack. So Numista says lady, traditional Greek garment. Yeah. Depends on what region you are. The different regions should have had different types of wear in the past, and also traditional. What traditionally talk about 1100s, talk about 1500s, so we're not too sure. It's pretty subjective. And this coin seems to have enough for the population, so this is probably the lowest denomination in regular circulation. And we have a mintage in 1963 of only 11 million, so these ones sell for less than $5. And then we have 1966, 10 million. But if we look at the sides, we can see they change the thickness of this coin because of inflation. So the coin on the left side is 5 grams, the coin on the right side is 4 grams. Now, Numista doesn't, says 1.57 grams, that's a 5 gram coin for the dimensions. So this one's probably 5.7 millimeters. So they changed the thickness of the coin, so this one is thinner than that coin. As you can see, the side of it just has pattern. That's Turkey Cumhuriyeti, so Turkish Republic, and also basically it's quite a nice coin. Now the 50, we have the same. We have wheat and olive denomination, same stuff as all the other coins. And on this side we have a woman in traditional Turkish that says Anatolic bride, but different regions would have had different types of clothing. So this is probably more upper class, I reckon. And this one's there, 6 grams, 25.4 millimeters. And the lowest mint is 1979, 3,714,000. And I've sold these for about $5 each. So 1976, this one had 27,476,000. So these seem to be in demand and they're rated. So then we have the lira denomination. So we have the 1, 2.5 and the 5. And it seems that the 2.5 and the 5 circulated along with the banknote because there was definitely not enough issued into circulation for the actual population to use. So just getting the information up. So the 1 lira was first issued as a copper nickel coin in 1957. Then in 1959 they changed it to the steel coin. And also, did they change the weight of the coin? Yes, they did in 1976. They changed it from 8 grams to 7 grams. And that was the weight that they kept it until they introduced an aluminium coin. So the two coins I have, 1964 and 1977, if you put them together, you can see the 1966 is thicker. So this is 8 grams and this one's 7 grams. So that's how you tell the difference because they want to keep the dimensions the same. So here we have wheat and olive on it again, denomination, the crescent and the date. And on this side we have the first image of Kemal Atatürk, which they used on the current coins. So here are the 5 kuruş of the, this is, they reduced the size of this and you can see the image is the same. So before that they didn't put much of Mr. Atatürk's head on the actual coin. And this side of these is patination of Turkey Cumhuriyeti. Oh no, it just says Turkey it looks like. Anyway, that is what is on the side of the coin. So 1974, okay, 1964 should I say, had a mintage of 4,976,000. Lowest mint is 1961 with 2.1 million. And also these coins all had a mintage lower than population. So these probably circulated quite a bit. Now, did the previous copper nickel coin have a high mintage? 1957? No, 25 million. So that would have satisfied the population. But also this, so they circulated for a long period of time. So there would have been a build up in the coin in circulation. Or there's also another theory as for maybe a lot of the population didn't use coins. But this 1977 had a mintage of 30,244,000. The population in 1975 was 40 million, so still not enough. Although when we see Australian $1 coins, they have huge mintages. Then years afterwards they have very low mintages, less than population. So I'm a bit confused with this one. And on the other side, as you can see, they're all the same. So what you're looking for pretty much is just error coins. Okay, then we got the 2.5. So the 2.5 lira. This one is 30 millimeters. It was 12 grams initially, and then they changed it to 9 grams in 1969. And on the front of the coin we have Kemal Atatürk walking in Kocatepe. So I know tepe means like hill, so some hill somewhere, and in a thoughtful pose, so he's thinking. So that's more of an ingenious or very creative design that they have him doing. And he's got military boots on and a fez, and we have the two different versions. So if you put them together, you can see there's difference in the thickness because of the reduction in weight. And also patination, TC for the name of the country. In 1960, we have a mintage of Okay, so this one's the thicker coin of 4,015,000, and that seems to be the highest minted coin. And in 1960 the population was 27 million, so really not enough to set demand, and there was no previous coin issued. And in 1979, so this is the second last year of issue, 4,972,000, the highest mintage of 1977, 19 million. So these probably did circulate quite a long period of time along the banknote. And when was the banknote last issued? You can look all this information on Numistar. Okay, it says the last date is 1960, but it could have been reprinted in the 1970s as well. So anyway, that is basically the 2.5 lira. Then the highest coin they issued in circulation is the 5 lira. So the 5 lira was issued between 1974 and 79. It's also stainless steel, or Monitul, whatever they call it. 11 grams, 32.5 millimeters, and I know I butchered the name. And we have the olive and the wheat. Seems to have been really nicely struck. And all these coins are struck in Turkey, in Istanbul Mint. And on the other side we have Kemal on a horse, and the horse is, what do they call it? Anyway, so that's actually a nice design coin. And the highest mint we have for this is 76 with 20 million. 304,000. 1977 here has a mintage of 6,205,000. And I only ever find these coins in uncirculated grade because the 5 lira was last printed in 1976. So I'm going to say they print these the banknotes, and it's circulated along with the 5 lira up until 1981-82 when they issued the smaller 5 lira aluminium coin and the 5 lira banknote, and this large coin was withdrawn from circulation. So if you wanted to buy one of these, you'll probably be paying at least $10 to $20. I don't see too many of them for circulation. And also the print run for 1976 5 lira was 215 million. So it's enough to satisfy the population, I believe. Because in 1975, what was the population again? It was 40 million. And really there's not enough coins for that type of market. So these are probably only used in larger cities, Ankara, Istanbul. Anyway, hope this helps you with your Turkish coin collecting. So basically these are the Turkish coins in circulation in 1975, and also they're not too hard to get for most of them. You can probably pick up a whole bulk lot like this for less than $50 from what I've seen. That's for each denomination. Anyway, thank you very much. Have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time, and take care.